This is the Royals POSTCAST, your instant game reaction for the Kansas City Royals. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
Welcome in to the Royals POSTCAST, part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day. I'm your host, Chance Liebau, and I'm here to bring you reaction to every single Royals game the rest of the way. You can follow me on Twitter at Chance Liebau. That is down right there, ChanceLiebau. And if you can't make a show live, don't worry. These episodes will be uploaded for you to listen to on demand wherever you get your podcasts. Before we get started, remember to subscribe to the channel, turn on our notifications so that you get an alert whenever we go live. Thanks so much for joining the show. Feel free to join the live chat. Let me know your thoughts on the game, and maybe I will respond to your comment. Not so many comments so far, but feel free to hop in there, guys. This was a really bad Royals game today. Another dud for the offense. They lose 5-1 against the Dodgers. After the home run from I can't remember who hit it. It was Kike Hernandez. Yeah, that game felt like it was over. That pretty much was over once Kike hit the homer. The Royals' offense was horrible again today. I mean, I said it yesterday. They showed good signs, but then again, they couldn't hit fastballs. They couldn't hit anything hard. And today was just that personified. They continue to find ways to lose baseball games in ugly fashion. I mean, 5-1, obviously it's the Dodgers. They're a good baseball team, but still today they strike out 10 times. They don't walk once. Yeah, it was a really bad game today, a really bad game. And GeoMaster14 has a great question. Why does Canna keep batting? I'm going to get to that in the last segment. Because I think that was the season right there. I think the season's over. I don't want to overreact, but I think the season's over. Like, that's it. That was your season right there. You had a chance to win a series against the defending champs before a long West Coast road trip. They always suck when they're on the West Coast for more than one series at a time. And so now you're heading into Seattle and Arizona, who have elite pitching staffs with your tail between your legs. So a really bad game today, really bad performance. And I'll get into that in the moves that are going to be made, I think, after today. But first, let's talk about Kris Bubic, and that's what we'll be talking about.
This is what you'll be talking about.
Kris Bubic was really, really not good today. I was very unimpressed by him. His fastball was bad. I'm going to go to Savant right now and look at it because his fastball, there were a couple of good fastballs up in the zone that had some rise, but his velo was bad today. I mean, that was the worst I've seen Kris Bubic's fastball really all season, and it had been a continuous – it's really honestly been that way for a while. Trying to find it. Player breakdowns. Kris Bubic today – golly, you got to scroll through all this. Kris Bubic averaged 92 on his fastball, topped at 94. That was not good. I mean, Kris Bubic did not have good stuff today. He's a 2-3 pitch pitcher. His changeup wasn't good. It wasn't in the zone. His sweeper was getting hit, and his fastball was not what you need from him. And I think that we've kind of seen him regress to what we can expect from him. I think that Kris Bubic the rest of the way, and probably throughout his career, is probably going to be like a 3.5, 3.8, anywhere in the high to mid 3 ERA gang. I think Kris Bubic is a fairly above average pitcher. But when you have a fastball that is pretty average in terms of velocity, there aren't a whole lot of guys that don't have great run to their fastballs, like a sinker, that are able to work with low 90s fastball and get away with it and be elite. I mean, there's really not that many guys. And that's kind of what made Kris Bubic's May kind of feel flukish a little bit. And he wasn't good today. He hasn't had good command in a long time. And like the entire month of June, Kris Bubic has not had good command. And today was that exemplified. I mean, it was at a paramount because the Dodgers are a really frisky team. They love to foul off pitches. They're able to, put together good ABs. Kris Bubic had 50 pitches through 2 innings, and he only given up the 2. I can't remember if he gave up he gave up the 2 earned runs and 50 pitches, and he hadn't really given up any anything else. I mean, he very much is fitting the Brady Singer. I don't want to put him in the Brady Singer category because I think Kris Bubic is a better pitcher than Brady Singer. But Brady Singer was fairly predictable. Brady Singer was fairly predictable because he had 2 pitches. Kris Bubic has 3, but when one isn't on, when he doesn't have a good changeup, which he didn't today, his changeup was not good today. He only threw 16 of them. Was not very good today. Trying to find out how many were in the zone. Of his changeups, only 25% of them were in the zone, and did not get a single whiff on a changeup. 7 swings, 0 whiffs. He didn't get a whole lot of swing and miss today. The fastball wasn't great, and the changeup wasn't a strike. And so then you're going up against one of the best lineups in baseball without your 2 best pitches. And so Kris Bubic today, I think that May kind of freaked us out a little bit where we were like, we might have another ace on our hands. But I think that he very much is just a middle of the rotation guy. The expectation should probably be that going forward. I don't think he's the ace of the staff. I think he's probably the 3 or 4 starter. I'd be curious to see if I don't know. I think that at some point there's going to be a conversation of would you rather have Noah Cameron or Kris Bubic, and maybe that makes him more expendable. I don't think they're trading Kris Bubic. I think he's one of the success stories of Brian Sweeney in this pitching development. So I don't know what the deal is with Kris Bubic, if there's another level to him that they can tap back into. But it's going to be really interesting to see what they do to kind of respond to his struggles here recently, because he's a 3-pitch pitcher. I know he's got the slider and the sinker, but listen, a slider and a sinker are the same thing as a 4-seam and a sweeper. So somebody chimed in. Freakazoid said, who do you think we'd get for trading Seth Lugo? Freakazoid, I really appreciate that comment. And I just want to, I love you guys in the comment section, but a lot of those questions are for Jack. Those like long-term questions, like what could they get for so-and-so guy? My job here is just bring instant reaction to the game as a whole and my thoughts on the 3 hours before this. It's not me calling you out, but I know that you guys in the comments are asking questions. I think that if you ask those to Jack when he does his Mailbag Fridays, that would be the best time to get those questions in, because Jack does a great job of answering all those questions. My shows are mostly about just the game and then maybe what it means going forward. And that's what we'll talk about next. We'll talk about the offensive performance today. Some of the things I really didn't like seeing at the plate today. I guess a pretty tough outing, a really tough pitcher in Justin Wroblewski. But I'll talk about that when we come back on the Royals Postcast on the Locked On Podcast Network. Summer sports are in full swing, and whether you're all about baseball under the lights, golf on the green, or high-stakes soccer action, FanDuel is the best way to make every game even more exciting. You're already following the action. Why not make it a little more thrilling? With FanDuel, you can get in on the game while your friends are getting sunburnt at the beach. I've been using FanDuel to track my favorite matchups, and the app keeps it fresh with new daily promotions and fun ways to bet. It's super easy to use, fast to pay out, and makes even regular season games feel like must-watch events. New to FanDuel, new customers can bet just $5 and get $150 in bonus bets if your first bet wins. Open the FanDuel app today or visit FanDuel.com to get started. Caden asks a question in the chat. Is it really over? Like, actually, I think it is. I think that was the punctuation mark on the season. I think that they are sellers now. They had a chance to win a series. They are now 39-45, and you can say however many games back they are. If they aren't above 500 heading into the All-Star break, or like a game out of 500, that's it. I mean, I don't think this team has a run in them. I don't think that enough bats can get hot at the same time. I think there's some bad voodoo in that dugout right now. But I think that some legitimate changes are coming here really soon. I think that multiple either staff members or players, and I don't have any inside sources. I'm just someone who's observing. I live in Wichita. I don't have any sources in the clubhouse or anything like that. I think that multiple people, whether that's on the staff or on the roster, will be told not to make the trip to Seattle. And I don't think Jack Caglione is one of them. Shane Snodderly says no excuses. Cags needs to go back to Omaha. Disagree. That's a bit of an overreaction. You called him up. What was he doing at AAA when he got called up? He was crushing it. He's the exact same hitter he was when he got called up, and he's just hit a bad slump right now. I think he should not play every day, or he should get. I think it was a mistake to play him today because I think his confidence is tanked right now. He doesn't look like he's got a clue what's going on at the plate right now. And he's not going to change that by going to Omaha and facing bad pitching. So I don't think Cags is going anywhere. Cags is going to be on the roster or the injured list the entire season. That's what they called him up to be. They weren't calling him up to be the savior of this lineup. He's hitting sixth. I mean, he's fine. I think that he's in a bad slump right now, like all Major League Baseball players go through. But I think that multiple guys will get told not to make the trip to Seattle. I think that I said that I thought Alex Zumwalt's last series was the Rays series. I continue to think that it's this series. I think he's done. Like, you cannot have him make the trip to Seattle with all of the negativity surrounding this offense right now, and with all of the social media stuff going on right now with him. You cannot have him make the trip to Seattle. He's done. Like, he cannot make the trip to Seattle. I don't know if that means promoting Keone Duren or somebody within the organization, but he cannot make the trip to Seattle. I don't think that Mark Canha can make the trip to Seattle. I don't think that John Rave should make the trip to Seattle. There are a lot of guys just dead weight right now in this Royals team, and they are getting ABs for no reason. I mean, I thought that 2 weeks ago, Mark Canha was done. He is not a good fit in this lineup. I don't think he's a bad baseball player, but there's no pop in that bat, not hitting fly balls. He was brought in as this lefty, renaissance guy. He was going to hit a bunch of lefties. Hasn't done that at all. I don't think Drew Waters should make the trip there. I mean, but the other end of the spectrum is you got to call guys up and you got to place them on the roster. You can't go Hoosiers mode and say my team is on the floor and play with 7 guys out there, because that's all that you can play. That's all the major league talent you have. There's nobody in Omaha right now. And I'm telling you right now, there is nobody in Omaha right now that is going to fix any of these offensive issues. Cam Devaney he's no better than John Rave, and John Rave stinks. Like MJ Melendez, he's not a good hitter. Like, I think he's a good clubhouse guy. I think that's the value he brings. He's a good clubhouse guy. Not saying he should hit every day. I don't think he's a major league bat, but that's the best option they have in Omaha is Cam Devaney, who is no better than John Rave, and MJ Melendez, who is hitting 085 this season at the big league level. Maybe Joey Weimer gets a call because he's already on the 40-man, and he's your Mark Canha replacement. But, man, there's not a solution in the organization right now. I don't care what you could bring up any name. There's not one, because guess what? I think the most unfortunate part of this is I think the best 13 hitters are on the active roster. I don't think there's anybody in Omaha. I mean, maybe you could argue Michael Massey if he's healthy. I don't think so. Maybe you could argue MJ Melendez, but there's nobody. There's not another 3 better hitters in Omaha that you could call up. And that's the unfortunate reality that they're in. And I think that they are going to prioritize trading guys like Seth Lugo and Michael Lorenzen for true bats that they can at least get some ABs in the second half of the season, like Nelson Velasquez types that they got a couple years ago, who was just a quadruple A player that they were able to stick in the lineup and have some pop in there. But I mean, and don't say Nelson Velasquez because he got DFA'd, he's done. But there's nobody in this farm system. Somebody says JD Martinez, throw a contract to JD Martinez. I mean, has he even hit a baseball like live in a long? I mean, it's been a while. You're asking them to bring in guys that haven't hit all year. I mean, JD Martinez hit 235 with the Mets last season and can't play defense. He's not a fielder. You can't play him anywhere. There's nobody out there. Can we get Rowdy Tellez? Why? To have another not fat. To have another first baseman, a left-handed first baseman? Why? They already have 2 of them. They're forcing one to play right field. There's nobody out there. I mean, there's nobody out there that they're going to get that's going to fix this. I think the season just needs to be, okay, we need to get some young guys some ABs. We need to see what we have with Jack Caglione. We need to see what we have with guys like Nick Lofton and some of those guys and say, what do we have going into 2026? We need to focus on 2026 because I think that's what they're focusing on right now. I mean, there's nothing more for them to do. Send everyone to the Northwest Arkansas and bring up the Naturals bats. What could it hurt? Everything, all of the development of everybody. I mean, Shane, you asked for them to send Jack Caglione down, and now you're wanting to bring up every AA player on the roster. I mean, they don't have anything in the tank right now. The season is kind of a waste at this point. As much as I'd love to root on a team in October instead of lottery balls, that's kind of what the hand we've been dealt as Royals fans. But I think that it's going to be interesting to see what the next steps are. I don't think Zumwalt survives this atrocious offensive performance. I think that one of the outfielders, whether it's John Rave or Mark Canna, I think one of those two guys is done, either sent down or DFA'd in Canna's case. And I'd be surprised if Sam Long makes the trip as well because he wasn't that good. He's just kind of getting junk innings. But I mean, this is a really bad offense. And I think that it starts at the top with the offensive coaching staff and then kind of trickles down. But I think this is going to be really interesting to see what the next week looks like because they're on the West Coast. The Royals never play well on the West Coast when they're there for a week at a time. But I'm holding out hope. But I think that more likely than not, they're sellers. I think that was the season today. I think that they had a chance to gain some positive momentum heading into a really tough road trip, and they squatted it away. Speaking of that really tough road trip, we are going to we're going to have some late shows this week. We've got 4 games in Seattle with 8:40, 8:40, 8:40, and 9:10 first pitch times. So I'm sure you all are excited about that. I will still be doing the postcast. I'll be having my coffee, my late pot of coffee. Not exactly thrilled about it, but yeah, it's going to be some late nights in Royal Land. And hopefully they're not wasted postcasts. Hopefully they're, at least exciting games or something that we are, on the edge of our seats for until these podcasts are recorded around 11 o'clock at night. But a disappointing season, a very disappointing series. I think that encapsulates it more than anything. Just very disappointed at the effort put in from all parties involved today as the Royals lose to the Dodgers 5-1. We'll be back here tomorrow, probably around, I'd say 11 o'clock. We'll be recording this. But I would appreciate you guys if you were to come to that tomorrow. If you're new to the channel, subscribe, hit the bell notification, and like the video. We appreciate you guys for tuning in. And we will see you tomorrow as the Royals take on the Seattle Mariners for another Royals Postcast on the Locked On Podcast Network.